Canada's job market once again showed its resilience last month. It filled almost 35,000 more positions, extending a run of hiring and defying experts who keep expecting things to be gearing down by now. Jeannie Lee is here with more on that. So what's driving all the hiring, Jeannie?
Well, demographics and economics and other changes that we talk about almost on a daily basis, Hannah. So some economists we know have been seeing a recession sometime this year, maybe even starting very soon. And yet the economy is still growing for now, and we know that people need to work more, perhaps, because they need to cover the ever-rising cost of living and other bills. And anyone who's out there looking for a job, well, there's a ready-made supply of jobs to be filled and filled quickly. And here's what we mean. StatsCan reported not long ago that the number of job vacancies in the month of January, for example, that was the last report, almost 900,000 jobs are vacant and needing filling. And that's, the so-called, the famous labor shortage that we keep talking about, especially in trades and trucking and healthcare, for example. And 29,000 more jobs became vacant in January alone. So, even if you just fill those jobs, it would be normal to therefore get a gain of 30,000 jobs roughly. Never mind the jobs that open up, fresh jobs that open up or are created on the, as time goes by. Now, there's also the growing workforce factor. We know that another new thing that was in the news just 2 weeks ago, Canada's population grew by over 1 million last year, most of that through immigration, meaning people who are already of working age. That's a lot of people who are of working age ready to work, and so that's more people going into the job market. The other thing is more Canadians are staying in the workforce. So more Canadians over age 55 are working than in the past. The other thing is inflation and interest rates. We keep talking about that. They are driving the return to work for people that may not have worked before, or maybe getting more gigs and being counted in the numbers. If you have 2 or 3 jobs going, well, that's more jobs being created. So you see where the thing with hirings is that the more people get jobs, the more money there is circulating through the economy, the more demand they create for certain things, and the more jobs are created. So it has a way of job growth, fueling more job growth, at least for the time being.
Now, until those things slow down, Jeannie, if they do, who's scoring the jobs?
Well, we certainly are seeing some highlights in this group. Let's go right to them. New Brunswick, by the way, a lot of people there are finding work because the jobless rate has fallen to a record low in that province. The national jobless rate was at 5%, which really says it's pretty much at the lowest it's ever been, because back in the summer it was 4.9. That was the record low. So it's pretty close to that, meaning a lot of people everywhere are working. 82% is the employment rate of women who are core age, 25 to 54. That's near a record high. A lot of that is because of what we talked about, some of the financial pressures. You might force some mothers to go out and look for work that is paying, even though they may not have needed to in the past. And childcare may be getting easier too for them, making that easier. And when you see that more than half the jobs are full-time jobs, that full-time work is being found by the private sector being a big job creator, that's also a sign of strength. And by the way, everyone's getting more money. Well, not everyone, but the average wage growth is 5.3%. So those are the people who are lucky enough to get that. They're finally in the position, by the way, Hannah, of being able to cover inflation, because we know inflation has been falling. Wage growth has been steady or rising, and finally it's the reverse effect. So at least people who are getting raises are managing to cover the bills.
Absolutely. Jeannie, thank you. Have a great weekend.
You too now.